Welcome to Keep Calm and Man Up. This week we're in Cave Creek, Arizona. We've been working on a project for the last couple of weeks, and it's been testing, and it's really humbled everyone who's been part of this project, which is really convenient because this week we're talking about humility, another of God's traits for men. Back in 1980, Mac Davis had a comical song called "Oh Lord, It's Hard to Be Humble When You're Perfect in Every Way." And as men, we often believe that, and we keep telling ourselves that. But sadly, we're wrong. So as we're going to look ahead to the next few minutes, enjoy the humbling experience, which is learning more about what God would have us be and where we need to be as we grow in our own personal lives. When we look at the prime example of humility in life, we look at in the Last Supper when Jesus washed the feet of his disciples, showing that the leader and the teacher would become the servant. What's more impressive is when you think that he also washed the feet of Peter, who would betray him only a few hours later. And Jesus knew he was going to do that. Take it a step further, he also washed the feet of Judas Iscariot, who was the person who would betray him and lead him to his crucifixion. And he knew this was going to happen. What mark of humility that he would kneel down and wash the feet of those two disciples, knowing the actions that would be caused, and he still went and did it. And he honored them because he didn't treat them any differently than anyone else. That is what we need to do in life. Wash the feet of everyone, figuratively speaking. In the hotels, my life before Grizzly, we had a situation where we had to improve the standard of bathroom cleaning. Now, I knew the basics, but we had a problem where little black hairs are being left in the bathrooms. Yet these were cleaners who we knew had a very high quality, and all of a sudden it wasn't getting done. I could have gone in and told them, do this, do this, do this. But in the end, I just got everyone together and said, this is what the problem we have. This is what I need to achieve. In the end, we found out what had changed, in that they'd stopped putting on the hair nets because it was a little itchy on the back. When the housekeepers finished the bathroom, they would leave facing outwards, which occasionally left a black hair would fall into the bathroom and they didn't see it. They found it because they were experts in what they did. They cleaned 16 bathrooms a day. I cleaned one a week, maybe. Sometimes with humility, you have to understand that other people have more information and are better at what they do than you can do. We have the information, but they were in their work mode every single day. They worked out what the problem was, given the evidence that we had, the guest comments and everything else. By letting them solve the problem, I didn't have to be the big boss to come down hard. I could just sit back, let them come up with the answer. They were able to produce the results. Our scores started rising again, and they were invested into the correct way to do it because they knew. And they also realized I trusted their judgment. Humility is more about understanding the strengths of others, using the strengths of others to achieve a goal. Doesn't matter whether it's putting in a door, putting in windows. This is where we need to be, and this is the art of humility.
What is humility? Humility is an accurate inward look and assessment of your own ability and worth, characterized by a lack of arrogance, pride, and self-importance. It involves recognizing one's own limitations, being open to feedback and criticism. Rather than thinking less of yourself, humility is about thinking of oneself less. This will foster growth and better relationships. Key aspects of humility include self-awareness. This is a realistic understanding of your strengths and weaknesses. If you can't be honest with yourself, how can you expect to be truly honest to those around you? Openness. Are you receptive to new ideas or able to listen to feedback, even if it were about your mistakes? Modesty. Presenting oneself without arrogance or conceit. This also stretches into your appearance and how your looks affect your humility. Respect for others. Do you value the input of others, equally or above your own ideas? In a hotel, housekeepers make beds numerous times, every day. As a manager, typically, you don't make beds on a daily basis. Do you listen to the housekeepers when you look for more efficient routines? Freedom from pride. Do you need praise or recognition for everything you do? This praise often goes to your head and you end up believing you are better than you might be. This unrealistic status then affects your attitude to the same work moving forward. How does humility differ from low self-esteem? Simply put, humility is confident, while low self-esteem is fear-based. As we have mentioned, humility is an accurate self-assessment, whereas low self-esteem is an insecure and negative self-perception characterized by the feeling of worthlessness. Key differences between these two traits are self-focus versus other focus. Low self-esteem hyperfocuses a person on their inabilities and insecurities. Humility focuses of serving others and putting them first, before your own self. Self-view. Humility concentrates of your acceptance of your strengths and weaknesses, while low self-esteem focuses on your incompetencies and worthlessness. Confidence. Humble people have a high inner security and do not need constant validation. Those with low self-esteem require constant top hats on the back and plaudits to keep them going. Perception of worth. Humility recognizes one's own worth while also recognizing the equal worth in others. Low esteem believes that you are less worthy or important than others. Reaction to success. A humble person receives accolades and compliments without the need to boast, knowing that he had the ability to succeed. A person with low esteem deflects praise or achievements feeling unworthy of them, however they need validation constantly. What humility is not. Humility is not self-hatred or insecurity. It is not passivity or being treated like a doormat, and finally it is not denying your talents. In summary, humility is a sign of strength and secure self-worth, whereas low self-esteem stems from a fragile and negative self-image. Humility in action. There is nothing more humbling than being the leader of a group on a project when anything and everything goes pear-shaped and wrong. The team are looking at you. The success of the project depends on your decisions. Do you persist with what you believe to be the right way, even though the same results are occurring? It has been said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over expecting different results. Do you look to your team and see that members might have a different perspective? After all, they might have ideas that could work, or at any rate, they will know their opinions count. If they are correct and the project gets finished, everyone wins. Persisting in your own ability and not considering others leads to continued failure and the team loses respect for the leader.
At the end of the day, it comes down to humility and what it means to be humble, to get a job done, and get it done right the first time, regardless of whether a customer is picky, it's his house, it's his windows. We need to do what we say we're going to do and follow through on that promise. If we promise them a great install, that's what we give them. Listen next week for the next episode of Keep Calm and Man Up. Have a wonderful week. Humility is often learned late in the evening, the lights of Cave Creek, as another day ends, and still the door doesn't fit. But even though humbled, we have a team that will not leave here until the job is done.